Thank you for watching MCC Today. On today's show we have Mitzi Davis, Sandy Clark, and Beth Calderon. It's going to have a lot of information that you're going to need, so please stay tuned. Hello everyone, and today we have the wonderful Miss Sandy Clark, who is the Business and Marketing Management Technology Program Coordinator, and Instructor. So you have a lot on your plate.
I do.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And you have been doing this for how long?
I'm starting my 25th year.
Oh my goodness, because we've been here around the same amount of time.
Yes.
Okay, so yes, I've known you many, many years.
Yes, we have.
We have had many laughs over the years. But your program, what exactly do you do in your program? What students, like if someone is interested in business and marketing, what exactly does that mean?
Well, that means that students can come and learn how to be a manager in the marketing field. They can come in and get management skills to go out and work in a sales area, work in advertising, work in retail. Nowadays, social media marketing is so important.
Companies, do you do a lot with social media?
Yeah, we are.
Or you teach a lot? Teach them to do a lot.
Companies are hiring people to manage their social media, and that's a big thing these days.
Okay. So if someone is interested in marketing, if they're interested, then this is a 2-year program.
Right.
Okay. What are the prerequisites that they have to do before they get into your program?
They need to have a college degree or either have finished their GED.
Okay. So they need to have finished their GED or have some college credit?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Well, they don't actually even have to have any college credit.
Okay.
Have finished their GED or have a high school equivalency.
Okay. That's all you require?
Right.
No
right.
prerequisite, no Comp 1, college algebra?
No, they can get all that when they start into the program. It's all built in to the 2 years.
Okay. Well, now, how many students do you typically admit?
Usually around 25 to 30.
Okay.
That's usually what my number is.
And you only admit new students in the fall?
No, we take new students in the spring as well.
Okay, so they can, if they've missed the deadline for this fall, then they can come back and apply for the spring. But do you still have some slots available?
Yes, we do.
Okay, so if they are still interested in your program, all they have to do, who do they need to contact?
They can contact me. My email address is sclark@meridiancc.edu, or you can call my phone at 601-484-8835, or Valerie Creel. She is our career and technical advisor, and you can call her at 601-481-1351, or you can email her at vcreel@meridiancc.edu.
Just a couple of, when you say Clark, S. Clark, C-L-A-R-K.
No E.
Okay.
Yes.
And then Creel.
C-R-E-V, Valerie Creel, V. Creel, C-R-E-E-L @meridiancc.edu.
Okay. So once students finish your program, is there a job market out there for them?
Yes.
Okay. So you have pretty good. You have pretty good rate of students getting a job as soon as they get out.
If you want a job, you can get a job.
Okay.
With this program. And also now, MSU Meridian, we have a really good relationship with them. We have some opportunities for them to go straight into a program there to get a 4-year degree.
So they can take credit that they've taken, that they've gotten with your program and transfer it to MSU Meridian.
Right.
Excellent. And get their 4-year degree.
Exactly.
Excellent.
Yes, and that's something that's new that maybe a lot of people don't know about. So it's really easy to get my degree and transfer right down the road.
Excellent. Now your students, typically speaking, as you said, they can go in many different fields, many different areas, because you give them the experience.
And it's management. It's not just someone who wants to go work in retail. They're going to be working as a manager when they finish this program.
Okay. And that's important because
That's very
you know, we're talking money.
Exactly.
Which I know a lot of people, they're like, oh, let's not talk, but it's important.
It's very important.
So, you know, you've got to be able to have a salary that you can live on.
Right.
So once your students finish and get out there in the market, they do relatively well.
Right.
And they can go anywhere.
Right.
There's not, you know, a limit, because in some programs, like, you know, they have to take a certification exam to be able to go to all 50 states or anything like that.
Right.
But they don't have
They
to
don't
with your
have to,
program.
no.
Once they get their degree,
Right.
they've got this degree and can take it anywhere.
Right.
And
Exactly.
with a very good job market.
Right.
Would you consider these people essential?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Yes.
In especially in today's
Yeah. Yeah.
market, in today's
Another
area.
thing that we look at, or we see a lot of, is people wanting to open their own businesses.
Okay.
We see a lot of people who are interested in entrepreneurship, and I teach entrepreneurship in this program.
Excellent.
So a lot of people come in who want to start their own business, and a lot of people don't want to work for someone else. So this day and time, people want to, you know, open that dream business that they've always thought of. So this is a great opportunity to get their feet wet and you know, it's staying at home and getting those classes that help them get started in that direction.
Okay. Well, I know a lot of people who have tried to open their own businesses, whether it be childcare or restaurant, and it's not just, I know how to cook, so let me open a restaurant.
Right.
There's so much more involved to it
Right.
that you get into with
Right.
them.
You've got to
say,
sell
look,
yourself.
Yeah, and you've got to be able to
Market
yourself and your pricing and your, you know, to cover your expenses and
Right.
hopefully make money.
Yes.
So there's so much more to it than just, oh, I can cook, or, oh, I can watch kids.
Right, right.
And that's what you go into
Right,
with your students.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. You know, sometimes when you think of marketing, you're like, oh, they just get out there and they put up posters.
No, it's
But
a lot
it's so
more to
much
it
more
than
to that. And nowadays with social media, and we're getting more and more into the e-commerce side
Right,
of it.
right.
And so is your program keeping up?
Oh yes, we are. We're trying to expand into more and more e-commerce, and in the future, soon, near future, we're planning to open up some e-commerce classes, so where students will have a certificate
Okay.
that they can expand on with an e-commerce type certificate from my program.
So will they have to be in your program to be able to get the e-commerce certificate?
I think so.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
They will, or either they have finished my program and
And they
come
can
back
come back
and
to-
take those 5 classes,
Okay.
and those will be all online classes.
Okay. Well, that's good. Okay. Now, what kind of individual do you think would be, you know, a person that would get the most benefit from your program?
Someone,
What kind of students are you looking for?
anybody who is interested in any area of business that who likes to be a self-starter,
Okay.
who's motivated. There's just I don't know, there's a lot. There's lots of different criteria, I guess, because someone who maybe even is shy would be good in my program. But yet you have another extreme who's someone who's really outgoing, who might be in entrepreneurship and wants to start a business. You know,
you give them the basics.
you give them the basic on how to do that.
Okay.
But somebody who might be shy, you know, might not want to do that. They might want to just be a manager, or not just a manager, but they might want to be a manager in a different type of position than somebody who wants to be a go-getter in a small business or something.
And once they get your program,
yes,
it
they
opens
can.
up a lot of doors
Yes,
for them.
yes. So there's all different types of personalities.
Okay.
You know, I've had from every end of the spectrum in my program, so it's hard to say. It's wide open.
Okay.
I couldn't narrow it down to just one type of person.
Well, listen, thank you so much for
You're
being on the show
welcome.
today.
You're welcome. Thank
We'll
you.
be right back.
With so much uncertainty in our world, we are thankful for the heart and determination of those who have followed their calling in healthcare. They work tirelessly on the front lines every day to make a true difference in our community. At Meridian Community College, we take pride in training these heroes and are grateful for their service in this time of great need. These eagles found their wings at Meridian Community College.
And we have Miss Mitzi Davis here, who is the assistant manager to our Eagle's Nest Bookstore.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
We're here.
We're here. That's right.
This is, I want to call all of this time like our lemonade, because we're trying to make something out of
That's right.
out of the situation.
Yes.
And I keep telling people, I'm like, we're making the best of it. We're going to do what we need to do. We're going to get the job done.
That's right.
So this is just the time that we're exploring.
Yes.
So with the
Learning
bookstore,
new things every day.
it really is forcing me to do things that I've kind of avoided as far as learning new stuff. But as far as the MCC Bookstore is concerned, tell me some of the things that are going on in the bookstore, such as we have a new semester beginning very soon. So how do students go about purchasing books? Will you be open regular hours for them to come in?
Yes, we will. We will be open Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4:30.
Okay.
And then Friday, 8 to 3:30.
Okay.
And Monday the 10th is the first day that students can purchase textbooks.
Okay.
And so when they come in, they can use cash, check, credit card. We take everything but American Express. And any type of financial aid that they have, they can use beginning Monday toward textbooks and supplies.
So Monday, August 10th, at 8 o'clock, they can start
Yes.
coming in. And so what do they need to bring with them?
They need to bring their student ID.
Okay.
They'll need that for anything but cash, and their schedule.
Okay.
If they happen to forget their schedule, we can print it for them, and that lets us know what books to pull for them.
And if they happen not to have their student ID, they can just run by a campus
Yes.
police and
Yes.
get their student ID. I think for that they need a copy of their schedule.
Yes.
So they need to have their schedule
Sometimes
with
it's a
them.
catch-22, but they have to have their schedule, yes.
Now, COVID,
Yes.
which is, I think the year 2020 is just going to be called COVID.
COVID, yes.
Okay. How is this affecting the bookstore operation?
We will allow 10 to 12 students in the store at one time. We will have campus police and Tim posted at the door to help us maintain that number. And they will come in and go to the back of the store to get their textbooks, and then to the register from there. And of course we will maintain social distancing. And
Everyone has to wear masks.
Everyone will have to wear a mask. We have hand sanitizer at the door they can use on entrance and exit.
Okay.
And we will do our best to get them in and out as quickly as possible.
Do we have any procedures for students who might have some underlying conditions or anything like that? Is there any way? Do you have to go through our special populations person? Or
That
just
I
out of
do
curiosity?
not
Okay.
know.
I was just curious about that. So, but we're keeping it as safe as we possibly
Yes, as
can.
safe as we can.
Now, I noticed that there's some remodeling going on.
Yes.
Okay, what are we doing? I went in the
That's
other
been the
day and this
question
whole
of the
back
day.
area is like,
Half of
it's
the
gone.
store, yes, half of the store is walled off. So
Okay.
we have done some reconfiguring with the wonderful things we have in there. But the area where the textbooks were, the ceiling was glass, half the wall was glass. And so they're giving us a real ceiling and sheetrock on that wall. And we hope to be completed in time for spring semester to start in January.
Okay, so
Yes.
will that, but that's not going to affect store
No,
operations?
not at all. We have moved everything into the side of the store that you can see. The books are moved to the back of the store, so things will be a little different for students who are returning, but the procedures and everything is exactly the same.
Now, the way that it used to be is you would walk in and hand your schedule to someone and they would go get the books. Do they
Right.
still do that?
Yes, except they'll go all the way to the back of the store, and we'll have somebody there to
Okay.
take their schedule and get their books.
What about ebooks?
Ebooks. Ebooks, the student will have access to their ebooks on the first day of class,
Okay.
maybe the Friday before, so either the 14th or the 17th, and they just log into their Canvas with their credentials, and it'll be on their bookshelf there for them to have access to. They will be charged the ebook fee with their tuition and fees. It will
Okay.
say inclusive access materials on their bill,
Okay.
so that they'll know that that's what that is.
And if they get a Pell Grant or any kind of assistance, that covers,
Yes.
that will cover the ebooks
Yes.
as well. Okay, and most of the time I think here you can use that on at least up to 3 devices,
Yes,
I believe.
that is correct.
Okay, okay, so are there any other things coming up with the bookstore that's kind of in the pipeline?
That's coming down the pipe.
Now we're doing so, do we have an online presence with the bookstore?
We are working on that currently, yes.
Okay.
We hope to have an online store. I don't want to tell you the start date in case that doesn't happen, but around the beginning of the fall semester, within the next month or 2. Yes.
Excellent.
So
'Cause there
we're
are so
really
many-
excited about that.
There are so many things in the bookstore, so many,
Yes.
just the wonderful shirts, wonderful,
Yes.
items that you can get, to as part of your, and even if you don't go to
Right.
MCC,
Right.
you can get, because we are a big part of this community.
Yes.
And I think just showing your support for the Eagles and for all of that, you can just go in the
Right.
bookstore. So many things
Right.
going on.
And we not only have collegiate things, but we have gift items that someone can buy from the community, can come in and buy cups and mugs and jewelry and things that don't have MCC on them. And of course, we have any type of supply that's required for their classes, backpacks and notebooks and books and pens and
And
pencils.
those can be, if
things.
they're getting assistance,
Yes,
they
can use their
that
financial aid for those things
to purchase
as well.
those beginning Monday, August
Yes.
10th.
Yes.
And how long do they typically have where they can use?
It's
that Pell Grant?
usually till the end of September.
Okay, so it's a pretty good, but you want to start out
Yes.
the semester, because we're starting August 17th.
Yes.
You want to start out with everything you need.
Yes, you do.
Now, should a student purchase a book and they change classes, can they return the book?
Yes, they can.
okay.
They have through September the 3rd to
Okay.
do so, and they will need their receipt and their student ID, and
Okay.
it cannot have been opened or used or anything like that.
Okay, so if it has
shrink
shrink
wrap,
wrap on
yes.
it, don't open it, don't mess with the
Exactly.
shrink wrap until you've been to class,
Yes.
until you know that you're going to be in that class.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else going on? It's a lot of big things happening.
I know, it
Bookstore.
is a lot. We're excited about the semester coming up, even with all the protocol and things that we have to follow, but we are ready to see our students and to service them.
I'm so glad you were on today.
Yes.
I look
do
forward to
need
seeing a lot of the
probably
stuff that.
give
I'm
the
sorry.
book. Can I give the
Yes.
bookstore number
Yes, please,
in case
please. Excuse
someone
me.
needs to call?
Yes.
You can contact the bookstore at 601-484-8650. And if you have any textbook questions, you can email bookstore@meridiancc.edu.
Okay, so you can call directly, or if you have any textbook questions, y'all will
Yes.
handle it.
Yes.
And you're very good at promptly answering things.
Yes.
So that is wonderful.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being
Thank
with
you.
us today.
It's good to be with you.
We'll be right back.
Become essential at Meridian Community College. Our community is changing, and at MCC, we are built for those who want to serve. Being essential has kept our community going. You can become that here, all at an affordable cost. Whether you dream of helping people through healthcare services or want to transport goods, connecting people with the products they need, we have many unique opportunities to help you find your purpose. Don't wait for change. Be the difference and register today. Become essential at Meridian Community College.
And we have the effervescent
Oh,
Beth Calderon here with us today. Welcome.
thank you.
Now, Beth, you are the Spanish instructor here at Meridian Community College.
Yes, I am.
And you have been for a number of years, because we've known each other for
Yeah,
a
this
number
is
of
starting
years.
23.
But recently,
I started as a very young child.
you did.
Yes.
And recently, you've also become the division chair for
Yeah.
the language, literature, and success. You were technically my boss.
Technically, but yeah.
But I wanted you on the show today to talk primarily about teaching Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay. So you teach Spanish. Now, what levels do you teach?
We offer 1 through 4. But
Okay.
predominantly, the main things that I'm teaching right now are 1 and 2. Every once in a while we are able to offer 3 and 4, but our main numbers are in those 2 beginning semesters.
Okay.
Those just mainly what the majors are requiring. And Spanish, unfortunately, is not a requirement to graduate from MCC.
Right.
But it is a requirement for a lot of majors at universities.
So if they're
and
transferring.
it's a good idea to go ahead and take it, of course, for me. And,
Of course.
I always try to motivate students to go ahead and do that here. Luckily, we typically have smaller class sizes where I can give them more individualized attention. And, sometimes when they take it at universities, it is in a larger class. And it is harder when it is that first class. That's where it's all new. And it's really important to lay a good foundation. And, that's what I really work hard with them to do. So I'm always trying to encourage students to go ahead and take that with us here.
Well, I tell students all the time, if you know you're transferring and you know which school you want to go to, get a catalog from that school and see
Absolutely.
what they require. And a lot
Absolutely.
of majors require at least 6 hours of a foreign language.
Absolutely.
And so you're here, it's available, class size is very small, a lot of individual attention. Why not go ahead and take it here and get it out of the way? Why? But in addition to just ticking a box for your major, why would taking Spanish be important, especially in some professions?
Well, it's just important in life. Well, I was thinking about this morning, and I thought, for everything, I think people always think, well, there's an app for that, which is true.
That is, yeah.
But I was thinking about, okay, that's fine. How would this conversation between you and I go if we were sitting here on our phones
Not
and just texting back and forth? We could do that.
We could.
But it's so impersonal, And there are apps on your phone where you can translate back and forth with people. That is fine, and that gets you out of a bind, and it works fine in an emergency situation or what have you. But being able to actually communicate with somebody, you'll never be able to replace that. And it just takes time to do that. And so what I just try to tell students is, it enables you to meet other people, to make connections that you would never be able to make in life without learning to speak that language. And yes, it takes a long time and dedication to become fluent, but even just learning those basics, in so many professions you're going to come across it. If you're a teacher, you may have children whose parents are Spanish speakers, or if you work in a hospital, if you are in social work, if you work in a store, think about if you're in the mall, if you're working in a convenience store, whatever. Just being able to greet someone or saying basic things, it just shows acceptance, it shows respect, and it does form bonds with other people. So I don't know, of course, I'm a big advocate for it. I feel the great importance
one of the things
it.
that I was thinking of is employability. Is, because I've seen a lot of ads for people, and they're looking for, and they'll say Spanish speaker or plus,
Right.
So if you know Spanish, and to your point as far as education, my niece is a first grade teacher, and she has a number of students who are, and some of them come to her class and know no English, and she is making the effort and really trying, and their parents don't speak any
Right.
English. So, typically by the end of the year, because kids pick up languages so fast,
Absolutely.
but typically by the end of the year they're pretty good with it.
Sure.
But that, or just say if you're becoming a nurse and you know some basic Spanish,
Right.
how much that's going to help you. And as you said
Absolutely.
before, any kind of counselor, any
Right.
kind of anything like that, it's going to help you.
Well, now the availability of things too that you can use to enhance that learning in the classroom is there. It's endless what you can do online too, not just coming to class. When I started back in the dark ages, it was all we had was what you get in the classroom because there was no internet. But the things that you can listen to, the movies you can watch, everything is out there where you can continue with input in the target language too to practice when you're outside the classroom, which is great. Two, with the employability that you're talking about, it doesn't matter that you've taken 15 Spanish classes. What they want to know is what can you do with the language. And so as long as people will practice, and it's always what you put into it as well, but you can get to that level and you can start. It's not just because you're an adult. I was 15 when I started. You can be older when you start and still learn. It's the time that you're willing to dedicate to it. So
What do you
always
say to
hopeful
the
that
people who
will.
just say, I'm just nervous about doing that. I'm nervous about starting another. I don't want to look stupid. I don't want to sound stupid.
Well, it is a humbling process, I'm telling you, especially as an adult. It is harder because we always question and want to know, well, why do you say it this way? But you just got to jump in there and do it. And it does make you realize, too, for all those people that are trying to learn English, it's not so easy to do that, but you know,
But
you
don't
just got to go
people
for it.
appreciate that you're making an effort?
Absolutely.
That you're just making an effort to extend something to them?
Absolutely.
And just try.
Absolutely.
And I remember, because I did some work with overseas, and that they would just, whatever the language, they so much appreciated that you're willing to make that general effort.
Exactly, because as I was saying before, it just shows respect and appreciation and all that. So for sure. Yeah.
Have you, now once they finish the 4-year, if they go through Spanish 4, okay, at what level does that put them, typically speaking, in the language?
Once again, it's going to depend on the person.
Okay.
And it's going to depend on what that person has done with it outside of class. And I always compare it like to trying to learn to play a musical instrument. Okay, if you're trying to learn to play piano and all you do is you go to your classes and you've gone to 4 years of your piano lessons, well, that's great. But if you never practiced outside of class, what kind of pianist are you going to be?
Right.
Probably mediocre. But if you've gone to 4 years of piano lessons and you've practiced for 30 minutes every day, what kind of, pianist are you going to be? And it's the exact same thing with language. You've got to practice every day. So it kind of depends on, too, your motivation and what you're going to do with it. So some after 4 semesters can come out and be great. Some after 4 semesters can come out and just, they've learned, the basics. But you would have all the tools that you need. You've learned everything. It's just, putting it into practice and getting more comfortable with it.
Well, then, and I'm sure that in your class that you have, you show them other resources where they can take, do that extra work if
Absolutely.
they want to.
Well, yeah, because one of the main goals is to create lifelong learners.
Sure.
And to create that motivation to make students want to continue to learn after they get outside of class, and to look for those opportunities to find people to practice with and things like that. So sure.
And the other thing is just how neat is it that you can speak to 2 or 3 different languages? Just
Right.
how neat that is.
For sure.
And I'm just, I don't know.
It's my only talent. I don't sing, I don't dance. That's it. I'm a
Well,
real
now,
mediocre cook.
do you
so.
recommend that a student, to get in your Spanish 1 class, do you recommend for them to have done or have taken anything else?
No. And a lot of times people say, well, when I ask the first day of class, has anybody had Spanish before? And sometimes, people say, I took it in high school, and then other people are like, ugh. I'm like, that's fine. Good for you. However, this is Spanish 1, and the prerequisite is, do you have a notebook and a pencil?
Okay.
Because it starts from ground zero. So, if you've already taken a class, you technically could, have taken a higher level. So and it doesn't matter if you're not a good English student. This is a Spanish class, and it's a totally separate class. And a lot of times taking Spanish will improve your
what I was about
English
to say.
class, because
Yes.
we do a lot of comparative study with grammar and things like that. And it's funny because you speak English because it's your native language, but a lot of times we don't know why we do what we do. And then going through the Spanish to learn it from a grammatical standpoint, they're like, oh, I didn't
That's what that
realize that that's what I was doing when I was
Now,
speaking.
if anyone has any questions, how could they get in touch with you?
They can email me. It's bcaldero, no
Okay.
N, so
C-A-L-D-E-R.
BCALDERO.
Okay. No numbers.
No numbers.
Bcaldero
bcaldero at meridiancc.edu.
Okay.
Or they can call me at 601-484-8846.
I want people to sign up because I think this is important.
why don't you come
And
sign up?
That's what I need to do. I think I will.
I think you should. And if you sign up, I know that everybody's going to follow your lead.
It's a given.
For sure.
Listen, we'll be right back.
All right, so you're looking to make a career decision that's crazy smart and won't break the bank. Then let's start with tuition guarantee and a home field advantage. That's Meridian Community College, and we're changing the game. We've got heavy metal drilling and saving lives. Or how about building a rover that could drive on Mars? We're more than grades in a classroom. We're your Red Bull monster shot of knowledge that will help you own that next job. This is not just the 13th year. It's the gateway to your entire career. Are you ready for more? Well, the eagle has landed. Find your wings.
On behalf of Matt Milner, our executive producer, and me, thank you for watching MCC Today. We really appreciate you.